energy. It's very small. It's just a thought. It's a very small, like a flea, a little small piece of energy, but it has something unique. Because it's an idea from the absolutum, it already benefits from the knowledge of the absolutum, which has created other universes before, so it's already very, very powerful as an energy source. The energy that is within this little small creation is actually moving in a very intricate, exotic spiral formation. And in your exhibit, there's a drawing, as best as possible, a little bit about how that energy moves, the formation of that spiral. So it is in there. The idea to create a new universe is a creation, and the energy within it is moving in this egg form, spiral shape, and it's very small. The spiral is the original spiritual form, then, that will create our universe. The energy that's inside of this small spiral is now rotating. It rotates and it pulsates. Okay? What happens is, over a period of time, this idea, this creation that has the idea to create a universe, slowly evolves. It works out how and where it's going to do it by benefit of the knowledge it's received from the absolutum. At a certain point, then, this creation then establishes the area where the universe is going to be. Now, picture in your mind, if you will, and there is a drawing in your exhibit called the absolutum, which was just a quick idea to show you that there's a large universe called an absolutum with a whole bunch of other universes in it. And what happens is, when our universe then, the creation decides to create a new universe, the area is established where our universe will be. And that's something similar to what the Big Bang Theory is. There is something like an explosion, they say, but there's no material or coarse matter that explodes. It's only fine matter. It's only energy. So the energy itself expands and creates an area in the absolutum where the universe then is going to grow and evolve. The creation is doing this, and the creation again is just fine matter energy with the knowledge from the absolutum. It has now created an area where the universe, where you and I live, is going to grow. However, there are no material things in it right now. It is of large size, but there's nothing in there but fine matter, just energy. There are no planets at this point, and there's no time involved. It's just energy that rotates in a spiral fashion. Now, the energy continues on now to learn and understand, and the creation gets the thoughts and ideas, understanding, the sense of reason, and it comes up with the idea of life. Idea is the key word here, because as we're learning in science, all matter possibly was formed from an idea. Ideas, just like when you think, are formed by logical conclusion, and as the idea becomes more concentrated upon, it becomes to get stronger in energetic form. It can actually create solid material things. So, and this is how our universe has come about. The creation has created the universe and all of this material by the knowledge that was embodied within it. And now we have the giant area. Our universe is growing. There are no planets in it yet, but it has thought, feeling, understanding, sense of reason, and an idea to create life. It then creates what's called space and time. In other words, the matrix then of our universe begins to become created. And we have a big empty universe with movement, because now we have the space, the emptiness, and it creates time. And it does this by virtue of an impulse it gets from the absolutum. Our universe now continues to grow, and as it does so, belts or divisions begin to occur within this large area. Okay? What has happened now, our universe is glowing like a large, the word is sohar, because this big energy form in the middle of our universe, which becomes like a central sun, is called by them a sohar. And what it is a concentrated form of the knowledge of creation embedded into our universe. All of this knowledge that is growing on how to evolve the universe is in this central sun area. That is called the sohar. It's like a bright light. And as our universe then continues to grow and expand, it will form belts, looking similar to like a tree trunk. And if you look at the exhibit there, you'll see that there are a certain number of belts, 7 of them all together, is how our universe then separates. As time goes by and creation continues to use its knowledge and so forth and understanding to create this universe, slowly those belts start manifesting at different levels of evolution. And the third belt in is called the material belt, as you can see on the diagram. The outer belt is called the push belt, which separates it from the other universes. But the third belt in is where all of the planets, the coarse matter, is evolving. It's similar to like what an egg does. It has different layers in it. Only our universe is divided into 7 layers. It is establishing already that there are 7 levels, 7 different types of energy in our universe. And they all have different things that they do. Each level of energy has different understanding, different knowledge, and different purpose. So the logic of the universe is beginning to be established by virtue of this creational idea, this embodied idea that is creating all of this material. Okay? So this continues on to a point where there is a material belt. And in this material belt, unlike any of the other belts, in here now, the energy matter, the fine matter, begins to get thicker and thicker, denser or denser. If you can imagine nothing, and then energy, and then what would energy be as it gets a little bit denser? Well, there was no word for it in the German language, so Billy decided to call it fluffy matter. So before it becomes gas, it's what's called fluffy matter. First, there is the thought of the creation. The thought gets thicker, more dense, and turns into fluffy matter. And eventually, the fluffy matter then evolves into gaseous states, which are going to form all of our suns and planets through nebulae. Okay? At this particular point, something very important happens, though, in our universe. Once our universe has established a material belt, then time begins. Up until that point, there is no time in the universe, because time only acts upon material objects, coarse matter objects, all right? And this time impulse somehow comes into our universe then via the creation from some source of the universe that created us. One universe creates another. There are cycles to universes. So our universe has now evolved to the point where it has a material belt, and time is beginning. When time starts, time is an energy force that moves like waves. It's divided into small units of impulses which speed through the universe in waves. This causes the rotation and animation of the matter. Moving time is now born, and the motion of creation is now started. Creation is creating a universe, we call it, with 7 different layers, 7 different, they're calling it belts, 7 different stages of evolutionary material, each stage having its own function, the 5th stage now having the function of creating material or coarse matter form that we come along. And the reason I draw this point out again is that pay attention to the logic of what the creation is doing to make the universe, because these same principles that are being set in motion pertain to our life. Okay, which we're going to get into a little bit later. Okay, so the idea of creation then is continued by the eternity of what's called the from the original creation, or this absolutum. Spiritual energies are now moving, they're rotating, fluffy matter's turning into gas, gases then form, condense over billions and billions of years, and what happens, of course, is what we're aware of now, that these gases then, in these large areas of our universe called nebula, we form into suns, planets are formed and cool down, and they form into solar systems. Nothing unusual about this. We're all aware from school the slow evolution of what our universe actually does. At this particular time in our development, though, we still have this fluffy matter, and I just want to point out at that stage of development there, though, which time has started, time then causes all of this fluffy matter then to start moving. These waves or impulses of time that move through the fluffy matter is how the galaxies and the motion of the universe actually gets started. Because time creates movement, it creates rotation,